morning and I don't want to get up. I want to stay in bed all day. But I have to go to work. Hi, Joey. Where's Joey? Where's Joey? I love you too. It's hard to take a picture. And here's the fish. Good morning, fish. Good morning, fishies. What, Joe? What? What? Oh, because you want me to feed the doggy? Hang on, I'm gonna. First I gotta feed these guys. What? You're so traumatized. These are my fish, Lewis and Clark. Here's Lily eating her dog food. And Joey's watching.
I need to guard the dog.
It's gonna be a fascinating movie. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
I forgot. I'm old.
Now it's time for me to try to make my lunch. And this is Lily watching me because she wanted to go hiking, but she had to stay home with Mama because Mama has to get ready for work. Are you mad, Lily? Are you mad? I'm angry. Yeah, she's mad. And here's me looking for the almond butter. Can anyone see it? Almond butter, where are you? Almond butter. There's the peanut butter. I don't want to use peanut butter. I want almond butter. Boo, no almond butter for me. So, who are you?
I am Nikki's aunt, and her dad is my little baby brother.
And what does it feel like, or what is it like to live with an adult with autism?
It's very, very interesting because she's extremely intelligent, very funny, and keeps us entertained all the time. It's frustrating though because we don't know how to help her become more independent. But Nikki has found a group for parents of adult people with autism and Asperger's. So that's something that we're going to explore so we can learn more in order to help her.
That was a photo bomb. Okay.
You just did a photo bomb.
I didn't know what you were doing there.
What else? Okay.
So we have found, or Nikki found for us, a group of parents for adult Asperger's people that we're going to try to attend. It's once a month to see if we can get some resources on how to help Nikki be more independent. We love having her here, but our goal is for her to be able to be independent and live her life how she wants to live it.
Let's see. Where do you think Nikki will be in 5 years from now?
I see Nikki in 5 years having her own place and also having a job that she loves, that because working is difficult if she feels uncomfortable with it. So she'll have a job that she just, she really loves it, like the job she had last summer at camp, building a camp for autistic children. So she'll have something like that. She'll have a regular paycheck. She'll have a place. I don't know if she'll have a goat, though.
What is the most annoying thing about living with someone with autism?
I would say that probably disorganization.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the hardest for us. Although I don't know why, because we're disorganized. I mean, we don't keep a really clean house or anything, but I think it's just kind of hard to have everything kind of up in the air sometimes.
Yeah. Or is there anything else you would like to say for this movie?
Yeah, we really, this has been a really cool journey for us because we've never had to deal with people that have a disability, and this has been very rewarding for us. We just need to do a better job at it.
All right. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Walking in the woods, taking a hike.
Okay, I'm lost. Tell me when.
Now.
It's raining. It's pouring. The old man is snoring. He got up. He cracked his head. And then he had to go back to bed.
Isn't that how it goes?
Because he had a really bad headache.
What do you think of that, Joey? Is my cat, Una, but she's actually my cousin's cat, and she's going to leave for Ecuador in about 1 month, or actually in like 3 weeks, because she's my cousin's cat and he moves to Ecuador. Stop! See, she's kind of like your typical cat. She's a nice kitty. She's a Scottish fold. That's why her ears are really small. I love her. I don't want her to go to Ecuador. Do you want to go to Ecuador? She says no. I don't want to go to Ecuador. I want to stay home with Nikki. She's 10 years old. Alright, that's it. What's your name? What do you think is most annoying about living with somebody with autism? He's not saying anything.
Not being able to answer all the questions.
What's the best thing about living with someone with autism?
Having more answers than what I'm used to having.
That's great. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, bye. We're having a Halloween party today we invited just 2 people, Phyllis and her husband. And Phyllis is my friend. I only met her husband one time. And we decorated inside the house. Actually, I did, because I went to work and then I came home and I decorated the house. This is the house. You can go inside. Hey, Joey. And I could show you the pumpkin lights.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have known somebody.
These are the pumpkin lights that I made. I used little white cups and then I drew ghost faces on them. And then I popped them onto the orange lights, the Christmas, the Halloween lights.
Yeah,
And this is the skeleton that's hanging from the ceiling that I got from the Dollar Tree. And Joey's scared of it. And there, whoops, hanging from up there. And then here's the tablecloth. There's the tablecloth that I bought. And here is the coffin I made in my art class. Watch this. Wait. Watch this. Oh, it's not doing it. Wait. Watch this.
and as it happened, I was getting married about it. So my folks were opened the board up.
I made that in my art class at Edward Center. And then this I made too there. This is a mask.
And so he invited us family.
Hi, do you recognize me? How are you?
I got to show my folks around the boat.
And
Well, my mom, of course.
that is all for now. Oh yeah, and we have a fire. Lily was wearing her costume earlier, but she took it off. Here is a Dr. Pepper can. I love you, Dr. Pepper can. You're my best friend. All right. What's your name?
Jim. Uncle
And-
Jim.
Uncle Jim, good. And I don't know how to zoom on this thing, so you're really far away. What is it like living with somebody with autism?
Well, actually, I think it's quite interesting because a person with autism has certain characteristics that make them kind of childlike and other characteristics that make them more adult-like. And, you know, when I was raising my children, they just had the childlike part of them, but they didn't have the adult-like part of them. And so it was hard to relate to them as an adult. With you, I can relate to you as an adult, and then I can watch the childlike part of you and remind myself that I've lost a lot of that.
And then you get to do fun things like
Yeah.
go to the pumpkin farm,
Yeah.
which you didn't want to do.
As people grow older, they start losing the childlike part of them, and they shouldn't. I mean, they should retain at least some of that.
Yes, I think so too. Well, what would be one of the bad parts about living with somebody with autism?
Well, if you were intolerant, if you were impatient, it might get on your nerves because they don't do things. People with autism don't do things the same way you do, or they don't see things the same way you do. And so you need to learn. We all need to learn how to be more tolerant and respectful of other people. Just because they're not like us doesn't mean they're not as good or even better than we are as far as a person.
Is there anything else you would like to say?
I think that for adults or even children who are allegedly not autistic, there's a lot that we can learn from autistic people. A lot that we can learn. And I'm happy to be able to do that now because I'm seeing things through your eyes that I didn't see before.
Thank you. All right, that is all.
Okay, this is my interview of Nikki Mann,
Yay!
who has Asperger's and ADHD, and I guess that's part of being autistic,
Yes.
but I don't know that much about it. But anyway, so what is different living out here in the Pacific Northwest compared to living in the Chicago area?
What is different? I think one thing that's different is that people that I've met out here are kind of like accepting of anybody who's a little bit different than them. Not all people, but like a lot of people. So like if I told them I have autism, they're just like, oh, okay. And then they just, like it's just like if I was telling them I have a dog or something. They're pretty accepting of it. And that is it. And people are nice.
Oh, that's good.
And there's a lot of animals, horses, goats, ducks, llamas, cows.
So you live with some antique aunt and
I
uncle,
don't even know your name.
uh,
Aunt Mary.
Aunt Mary and Uncle Jim, who are retirees. How does that work for you being a young person?
It works for me pretty well because they are always around and they can have time to spend with me. And when I live with my mom and dad, they're always so busy that they don't have any time to do stuff with me.
Okay. And what, now that you live in the Pacific Northwest, what is your goal?
My goal is to live here and to get a place to live and to get a goat and have like a nice house and have a job where I don't feel upset to go there every day. Now I'd like to open my own school, the preschool I was talking about, for kids who are neurologically diverse. But that's going to take a lot of money, so please send me $10,000.
Is there anything else that you haven't said that you would like to say?
I would like to say that if you have people in your family who have autism, don't always try to force them to act like everybody else, because just because you get them to look like everyone else doesn't mean that they're happy. They might be really sad inside, so try to get to know them for who they are.
And I will add to appreciate them for the very wonderful gifts that they have.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, Nikki.
The end. Hi, it's me, Nikki. I'm dressed up like a scarecrow because I'm going to a Halloween party at Edwards Center. Edwards Center is a place I've been going for a couple weeks now. It helps people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And so far I've gone there. I went there on a field trip to the pumpkin farm. I've gone to an art class there. And I've gone to a cooking class there, and now I'm going to a Halloween party. And sometimes I feel a little strange about going to Edwards Center because a lot of the people there have intellectual disabilities, and some of them can't talk, and some of them are like way more, I guess, severely disabled than me. And it's not that I don't want to hang out with them or anything, or that I feel weird around them, but I feel like it might be weird because, like, if I'm not that much disabled and I'm going there, you know, like a lot of people think you should be hanging out with more typical people and trying to do everything that typical people do. Like, I mean, that's what inclusion is, right? Like trying to say you should try to be around your non-disabled peers as much as possible, and that it's kind of weird to be around people who are less disabled or more disabled than you. So, like, sometimes I'm thinking that they're going to be like, oh, you're not actually disabled enough to go here. Or people are going to make fun of me for going there, or think I'm, like, trying to get services I'm not entitled to. But the reason I like going there is because they get to do fun stuff and the people are nice. And when I try to hang out with people that are my non-disabled peers, a lot of times I just end up, like, following along, and they're like talking and having conversations about things, and I'm trying to fake it the whole time, or just being quiet so I don't say anything stupid. And when I'm at Edwards Center, I don't have to fake it. I can be my own self, and I have a lot of fun, and everyone's nice. And it's really hard for someone with high functioning autism to find like organizations or groups dedicated to them specifically. It's almost like if you're a kid and you have autism, there's a lot of services for kids now and there's a lot of services for their parents, but it's almost like once you turn 18 or 21, you're supposed to either figure out how to join all the regular people out there, or you're supposed to go into some sort of institution or group home if you can't handle that. So those are your only two options. And so for someone like me, I almost have one foot in one world and one foot in the other, because I'm trying to go to work and stuff, and I'm trying to someday live out on my own, but so I still need some of the things that Edward Center could give me, and I still sometimes need services that other places could give me, like help with independent living and stuff like that, and help with, I don't know, whatever people can help you with there, but I don't know. I don't know. The end. People ask me a lot what it's like to have Asperger's and ADHD, and I usually tell them I don't really know, I'm not really sure, because I've always just been myself. I don't know what it's like to be anybody else but me. When I was a little kid, I knew that I was different, but I didn't know why, and I would try to do all these things to be normal. I used to read a lot of books, and I'd try to act like the kids in the books because I thought the kids in the books were normal, but I ended up just like using a lot of outdated slang words, and I just stood out more. I used to get in trouble a little bit because I was different, because they didn't know about ADHD and autism then, so they just thought I was kind of being a pain in the neck or being annoying. And I would get yelled at a lot. They didn't start realizing that I had anything different about me until I was in high school, because I started getting in trouble more for basically running away from home. But that whole time I was doing really bad in school. I didn't have any friends. No friends. I used to get bullied on a lot. I was really unhappy at home and I felt unloved. So they finally started to think something was wrong, but they thought it was more of a mental health issue. So I still didn't get diagnosed, not with ADHD and Asperger's, until I got older and I decided to try to find out a diagnosis for myself. And I'd read about ADHD and Asperger's, and the more I read about them, the more I recognized myself in what I read. So I sought out a diagnosis, and it was actually pretty hard to get a diagnosis because a lot of people didn't know how to diagnose an adult. So I got diagnosed with ADHD pretty quickly, but they didn't know how to diagnose an adult with Asperger's or autism. And because I had a job and I could drive, people thought that I was pretty well off. What they didn't know is that it took me a long time to learn how to drive. A long time. And then, I mean, even now I'm not that great at driving, and it took me a long time to finish college, going part-time. I still don't really have any friends. I mean, I don't know how to make friends with people my own age. I have had some friends, but a lot of them ended up taking advantage of me. So they were not really my friends at all. And I did get diagnosed with Asperger's by a lady from Australia who is an expert in Asperger's in females. But it's been hard to find any kind of help. And I don't know, sometimes I wish that I was normal, because there's a lot of things I want to do in life. I want to be a foster parent. I've wanted that since I was a young kid, but if I can hardly take care of myself, it might not. And I studied to be a special ed teacher, and it wasn't that hard to go through school because I understand kids really well. But so it wasn't that hard to get my teaching degree. It wasn't that hard. But the hard part is when you go to an interview and you have to sit at a table with the principal and the vice principal and a lot of the other teachers that are there. And you have to sit there and try to act like you're normal. And it's really hard. And I don't even know if I want to always go through life pretending to be normal. So right now I'm substituting, and I really hate it because I'm nervous every day about going to work. So sometimes I don't go, and then I don't get paid. But I'm nervous every day. And I wish I could be more like everyone else, but still be me.
Joey, what is the best thing about living with somebody with autism? What do you like about living with someone with autism? You don't have any answer?
Who's that?
You're so mean. I